Hey guys, what's up? It's Chris with Invictus Cockpit Systems. We just released an angled adapter for Warthog sticks. And I'm going to show you how to install it real quick. Alright, our angled adapter for the Warthog stick replaces the OEM cast part and the nut that attaches it to the stick base, whichever stick base you use. Obviously, we recommend our Viper Force transducer, but if you have another one, it should work with anything that a Warthog will attach to. Now, what does it do? One, it adds strength. This is milled from a 6061 piece of solid aluminum, so it's not going to break like some of the cast parts do when you use them with force sensing technology. They're not really made for that, so you need something a little stronger, and that's where this aircraft grade aluminum comes in. Additionally, on aesthetics wise, it adds an 11-degree forward cant, which gives it a more authentic look towards the F-16. It also replaces the nut, the weird looking Thrustmaster nut, with one that is made like the actual F-16 to the same specs. And then when you get it installed on the stick, you can see it looks much more realistic and authentic to what the F-16 stick is. So without further ado, let's jump into how to actually install it. All right, so surprise, surprise, the first part is taking out all the screws. In this video, I started on the side screws. It was kind of dumb. I'd probably start with the top piece when you do it, but let's speed this up because you don't want to watch me do this forever. Super exciting, right? Also, I'd probably avoid the longest Allen key in the world because it becomes kind of a pain to deal with. Just get a regular size Allen key. Don't be dumb like me. All right, now when you go to take this apart, you're going to realize that you can't because there is a pin on the paddle switch that holds it in place. Luckily, the pin is supposed to be easy to remove, but it takes me forever here. All you have to do is pull off the rubber O-ring and then push the pin back through, and it'll come right out, and you can lift that cover off the stick. When you lift the cover off the stick, make sure you put screw side down. It just keeps the trigger assembly from falling apart, which you don't want because it's a pain to get back together. Then you got the one screw that holds the piece in, the adapter there in. Just pull that out and note that that is where the ground wire for the 5-pin DIN connector also connects. So keep that in mind. And then you're just going to pull that one JST connector off the end of the board there, and you can lift it away. Now typically there's a couple screws right here. I'd already removed them from mine and lost them, so I don't know where they are. But you just unscrew those and pop that guy right on out. And throw that trash piece away because it's garbage. All right, now because I didn't have all the tools handy, I didn't have a screwdriver. I had to do that by hand. But then you drop that guy in there. Those are 440 screws to a certain length to keep it from interfering with the motion of the nut. So make sure you use the screws that we provide. Then you'll just feed the wires for the 5-pin DIN connector back through there. You're going to want the 3-pin side to face forward, and that'll make sense when you're looking at it. And then you'll put those screws in. I didn't because I didn't actually have a screwdriver handy, but that's what you would do. Then plug in or drop it right in place, then plug in the 5-pin DIN connector, put the screw back. Remember to make sure you put the ground wire back attached to the screw there, so you can have good grounding on the stick. And then that's pretty much the gist of it. You're just going to button it all back up, put it back together. It's kind of tricky to get this trigger switch aligned right and get it all in there. Just be really careful. Again, if you pop that trigger off, it's not the end of the world. but it is kind of a pain to put back together. So you want to try to keep that guy in place. So you'll flip it back over, throw the screws back in. I'll speed it back up so you don't have to sit through the painstaking process of putting all these screws back in. And then once that's done, you'll put the paddle switch back together and cover back on. The shorter screws go for the cover. The longest screw is right there at the trigger, and then the other ones are all the same length. Once you put the paddle switch back on, it's pretty simple. You just do the reverse of what you did to take it apart, and then snap that O-ring back in place. It's got a groove on it. It's really easy to see exactly how it goes together. And if you just put it on like an angle like that, push it with your thumb, it pops right on. And once that's done, in the video I put the collar on right now, you'll want to put the stick base or the stick attached to the base before you put this collar on, because the nut can't you can't get it to fully seat because the nut has to, you know, retract some to get it all the way in, and that was to get the height right for the stick on the actual stick base. But it's pretty much that simple. Hope you guys enjoy it.